before I start my talk, let me say something about Hellenic Open University. I'm a mathematician. I'm professor in the Department of University of Patras. And the last 4 years, I'm president of Hellenic Open University. The Hellenic Open University is public university. It's the only one in Greece, public. That means that have some support from the government. But it's a little different from the other universities in the sense. The students pay something. Because in Greece, because it's a very rich country, in the other universities, nobody pays. Students pay nothing. Even for the books, even the very, very rich people, they pay nothing. That is democracy, not for me. So, the students in Greek Open University and Hellenic Open University pay something. The base is in Patras of the university, that means the buildings and administration, and cover geographically all the Greece, because the classes are in 9 cities in the Greece. The system is mixed. There are 6 meetings face-to-face. That means that we have 30 permanent professors, but 1,400 collaborators, tutors that are professors from the other Greek universities. The correspondence between tutors and students is 1 to 20. I must say that they have the same professional rights with all the other students in Greece. We participate equivalently in the meetings with other rectors. And as I told you, 6 meetings each year, Saturdays on Saturday and Sundays, 4 hours. But each week, the students have the right to communicate 3 hours with the tutors by email, by phone, and also there are e-teaching classes. I must say that I told you in the beginning, I said that I am a mathematician. I must say that in some schools, humanity schools, there is some resistance from the tutors. They how to say, it's a little difficult for them to accept this, not to face-to-face, that they believe that face-to-face is the most important. But I'm sure that they understand that this is, it's not, how to say, the people accept this. Also, the Greek society accepts this Hellenic Open University because 72,000 applications we had the last years just to choose 7,000. And the system is it's difficult, but we have a very, very good, at least in Greece, for the Greek universities, electronic systems. Our students have a card, like credit card, smart card, that in this card, there are all things, all electronic books. They do everything from this. Also, they have the right to have titles signed by me. So it's not needed to come in the university, in the basement of university. This from the other universities in Greece, at least like it's how to say this expression, but I don't know how to, in English to say. So, at least electronically, in Greece, our students have many, many things. And the last I must say is the system is difficult. In the first year, 60% in some programs like informatics or mathematics drop out. So this, how to say, it's it's good because, good in the sense that in the beginning, in the 2000, it was a problem to accept the people, even the other professors in university, the society, what is this? Which is not everyday face-to-face class. But anyway,
The academic resistance.
Academic resistance. But as I told you, 1,400, they want to teach in Hellenic Open University because they paid extra money. And so they teach in this university as they teach in other universities. Okay. My talk is for e-learning and multicultural education in information and knowledge society, and contains 4 parts: multicultural education, information and communication technologies, globalization and info communication globalization, e-learning, management and multicultural education, info communication globalization, management and regulation, public interest principles, and finally, some conclusion for e-learning and multicultural education. Teaching multicultural education online may not come easy for those of us who are accustomed to teaching in traditional face-to-face environment. According to Perrin and Mayu, state that distant education can be more stimulating and encourage more critical reasoning than the traditional lecture class, because it allows the kind of integration and takes place more fully in small group settings. According to Marshall, state that electronic media and multimedia technologies promote communication interaction between diverse groups with the purpose of helping students learn more about content. Information and communication technologies create new opportunities of critical importance for multicultural education and e-learning courses, since they enable the transmission of the digital content in cyberspace, e-learning websites, digital content, digital services. So, the geographic limitations of accessing multicultural content can be significantly reduced. Second, the personalization of the experience of the virtual students, that means the experiences of the students who access the multicultural education courses over an electronic network such as the internet. So, each, say, virtual student can see a different chapter sequence of these digital contents of multicultural education according to his, her needs and interests. Third, the development of high-quality digital multicultural content, such as CDs, DVDs, which combine digital representations of multicultural education from one or more institutions with various types of multimedia. In Hellenic Open University, we have published 700 titles of books written in the distant learning, and also about 400 titles, CDs, DVDs, helping the students. And all this material goes to their houses immediately. The development of dynamic and interactive electronic environments or info communication multicultural platforms, such as websites and virtual reality technological platforms, which allow multicultural students to experience the multicultural education in unprecedented ways. For globalization, we can say that is the term used to express the marked internationalization of economic relations that has accompanied a steady growth in international trade, an enormous leap in international capital flows, the rise of the multinational corporation, and the weight that modern communication technologies have shrunk distance. Also, globalization certainly has not been ignored by educational institutions over the past 2 decades, as digital technology increasingly impact on the e-learning system, and as cyberspace enables e-learning courses to play a key role in multicultural education. In multicultural education, the info-communication globalization of e-learning courses has been driven by the technological revolution and the huge investment required for the development of new technologies. That means digital switching equipment, digital content, broadband networks. Info communication globalization is the type of globalization which enables the education institutions to develop their digital content and to introduce multicultural e-learning courses in information and knowledge society. Management in multicultural education is subject to different regulations and public interest principles at local and global levels. Management of e-learning courses are subject to cultural diversity in different geographic regions, e-learning system, education institutions, and multicultural regulations. Traditional face-to-face multicultural education can be successfully integrated into e-learning environments while developing multicultural management, regulatory authorities, and public interest principles in order to maintain appropriate quality learning objectives in education institutions. Management in multicultural education is the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling process of human and other multicultural resources in order to stimulate, motivate, and encourage effective multicultural education activities in e-learning courses. Regulation in multicultural education is the regulation process which enables multicultural e-learning courses to develop compatible regulation in order to stimulate, motivate, and encourage education institutions to be productive and to achieve multicultural educational goals effectively and efficiently in information and knowledge society. In Greece, management systems in education are subject to poor multicultural regulation in e-learning system and inflexible bureaucratic structures in education organizations. As I told you, it's completely different for Hellenic Open University. That does not hold there. Multicultural regulation and management in education are subject to specific public interest principles in info communication globalization, which are transparency, collaboration, accountability, and accessibility. Transparency. Education institutions should develop transparent procedures in order to regulate and manage multicultural education system. Collaboration. Education institutions should develop collaboration on vision, impact, and intimacy, and then move on the more complex areas as long as the prospects for success in all three areas, vision, impact, intimacy, are good. Accountability. Education institutions should be accountable to multicultural regulatory authorities in order to implement specific regulation for spending and allocating resources. Accessibility. Education institutions should have access to all information in order to develop compatible management models to regulate their organization system. The public interest principles play a key role in developing effective multicultural regulatory authorities. Public interest principles are very important issues in managing multicultural activities, multicultural resources, and people skills in multicultural e-learning platforms. Public interest principles should be compatible with multicultural regulations in order to be flexible to accommodate the variety of ways in which students learn. Here, managers are crazy because traditional teaching, maybe one can see in contrary with light teaching, but for my personal, I believe to these mixed systems. And finally, all will accept this. And regulation and public interest principles will help managers to regulate effectively e-learning and multicultural courses, which should be subject to multicultural management systems, multicultural regulatory authorities, multicultural public interest principles. Thank you for the presence, your presence.